Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are live from the studio in Frederiksberg, and we're in English today. And today's topic is the M365 or Microsoft 365 Copilot. And with me today, I have Lasse, my great colleague.
Yeah, hi everyone, to all Danes watching and all our customers from the other regions within FellowMind. We have very much looked forward to this broadcast, and we are doing it in English, as you have heard by now. And I look very much forward to spending the next 30 minutes on this very important and interesting new topic, Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's present ourselves.
Finally, it's here, right, Lasse?
Yeah.
So I am the AI program lead of FellowMind Denmark, and currently we are running a lot of projects and engagements on the whole AI topic, and of course also on this very interesting topic.
And I'm working in our product department, Interactive. So we do Microsoft 365 intranet based on SharePoint. We do learning. We do governance tools for the Microsoft Teams application. So we know Microsoft 365 and all the apps and possibilities in there quite well.
If you're watching from Livestorm, please use the questions. For if you have any technical issues and what not, and also the chat. We're watching it as we go today.
We do hear that there might be bad sound or very low sound. We are aware of that. We will do our best to speak clearly, and hopefully also we'll be able to make it better. We have half an eye on the chat. I'm pointing down here because that's where it is. This broadcast we are hosting here today is a part of a series. We have a presentation here where you can see the overview of the different elements in this broadcast series. Episode 1 was last week. That was our colleague Mika Tekkoniemi from Finland and our colleague from Denmark, Henrik Kim Christensen. I would just strongly urge you to go rewatch that on YouTube if you want an introduction to the AI basics, what, why, and how. I think I learned a lot from seeing it. Let's not talk too much about today, but the next 3 weeks, and there might be more episodes in the future, there are several other very, very good and inspiring broadcasts on this AI, OpenAI use cases. And I would like to emphasize one in particular. On the 16th of November, we have a Microsoft Ignite session live from Ignite, and it's the place to watch news from Redmond or from Microsoft. So go sign up for that one.
If you know a colleague or have somebody in your network that should also be watching these, please just allocate them towards this channel, and we'll keep them updated on these interesting topics.
Yeah, so that was kind of the basics, the introduction. So what should we spend the next
what are we going to do today?
The next 29 minutes? We have these 4 elements. What is Copilot for Microsoft 365? A demonstration on how it works in daily work practices. Then we would like to discuss what value it can create. And then we have something about cost and license requirements. And in the end, we also have some proposals. But let's just jump right into it.
So to begin with, we're just going to talk about what is the Copilot Microsoft 365.
Yeah, and I would like to start by saying a lot of people mention AI, a lot of people mention Copilot, but it is actually Copilots. So it's not just a Copilot or the Copilot, but it's the Microsoft 365 Copilot. And we, also us in FellowMind, should really emphasize in saying this message very clear, because there are a minimum of 6 Copilots within the Microsoft stack. There is Dynamics 365 Copilot for those of you who use CRM Dynamics. There is Copilot in Power Apps. There is in GitHub. There is in Windows, soon in everyone's PC. And there is a Microsoft Security Copilot, which is not on the market yet, but it is coming. So today, we scoped this session on the Microsoft 365 Copilot since it was launched exactly 1 week ago, and we have had access to it for a little more than 1 week. Let's move on to the next slide here. This is a small small illustration of what it actually is or what it exists of. We have like a large language model. You know this from ChatGPT, OpenAI, and you might have played around with that for the last 12 or 14 months. Then what differentiates this from the open ChatGPT experience is that the Microsoft Graph, it's actually your data in your tenant. And what do I mean by that? Your tenant, that is the Microsoft 365. Some of you still call it Office 365. It's basically all your business data. And then there is the Microsoft 365 apps. We'll get back to that. And on top of that, it can also ask the internet for input on this. Mm-hmm. Be aware that now I will present a bit more detailed slide on how it works, but I think we should not spend too much time with it, but it's just to give you some kind of frame around this system and how it works.
Yeah, because we've pulled up this slide earlier also, but yeah, please.
Yeah. Basically, in the top left corner, you have the productivity apps you use today. Office, Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, and those apps. And when you prompt in those apps, when you implement or acquire a Copilot, well, you ask a Copilot system, and then it goes down and asks the graph. The graph we could roughly translate to all the data within your company. So I could ask my Copilot, that is kind of my assistant at work, what kind of meetings do I have with Pernille tomorrow? And it knows Outlook, it knows my colleague Pernille, and it can give me a good introduction to that topic. So that's basically what it does. Then it gives me a reply. It replies in the same language as the OpenAI or the ChatGPTs. It uses the large language model. And maybe this is the big new thing. We can actually talk to a machine or a computer or a program or a calendar like we would talk to a person. So there is a lot of details. One thing to highlight might be security. There is a lot of security elements in this, so it's very secure. And then I mentioned one thing, a user prompt, and we'll get back to this prompting in a few minutes. The slide here, it has a lot of details. We will email it to all of you, and we would also be happy to go through it with you in a call during the winter. So you don't have to have learned everything from now. There is a lot of important details, but could we try to demonstrate how it works? Maybe.
Yes. Yeah. The exciting time. Let's try to demonstrate.
Yeah. Maybe before Copilot and the Microsoft 365 Copilot is built into a lot of apps, and here is a presentation of where they are. And where we can show you they exist now is Word, Excel, PowerPoint. It's also Teams. I will start by that. It's Outlook, and then there is this, well, new to many, the Loop component. You can actually also find it in Whiteboard, and over time it will be embedded or built into more of the Microsoft. But I think let's start to try a demonstration with showing how it could work in Teams meetings. Yeah. And now we are honestly
trying to demo.
we are a bit tense here in the studio because now the rubber hits the road. But here on this screen, I am in a normal Teams calendar, not Outlook, but Teams. And I have this meeting, an AI boss. It was last week. I could not participate, but I would like to figure out what happened in this meeting. My colleagues, they transcribed the meeting in the right language. And that means that me, by having Copilot, I can actually go and prompt with this meeting in the past. So here I select the recap function in Teams and the Copilot. I'm not totally convinced that what I showed you here is the exact user interface in the future, but for now, this is how to find it. Until now, everything is just like any other meeting. But now down here, I have a prompt and a prompt input field. And here I can ask it to, please recap the meeting for me. Maybe this is what I would ask a colleague or an assistant. But since I don't have an assistant and my colleagues might be busy, I just ask my Copilot to recap this meeting. And now it is generating a response, and all the different steps from the previous slide, it is going through that. And now here, it actually recapped the meeting. I can scroll up here. This meeting was about, etc., etc., etc. It has added bullets, and this is actually quite good. And it didn't cost me more than 30 seconds, 1 minute to produce this. I can even go further, because down here it suggests what might be relevant for me as well. So I could ask it to list action items. When I click here, it simply creates another prompt in the same meeting from the past. So, okay, good meeting. I read the recap, but what kind of action items was decided upon?
Yeah. So if you go on holiday, or if you're away for a few days and you miss a meeting, then you can easily catch up by using some of these features and save some time, and also save other people's time, maybe.
Exactly. So this is actually, if I go back to the screen here, this is kind of the basics of what it does. It's a personal assistant to me. It makes me more productive. Maybe I don't have to rely on a colleague who's friendly over the water cooler and tell me what about the meeting. They are busy doing other things, and I can kind of prompt it myself. The key elements here is it's a Teams meeting. I have a Copilot license, and then I have used this prompt feature down below. And I don't want to show you more different examples here, but I can just pop up this prompt suggestion, and then, okay, it recapped the meeting. I've done that. I could also, what questions are unresolved? Should it generate meeting notes for me or suggest further actions? So it actually can do a lot of things to me. And I could even give it my own ideas. How was the atmosphere in this meeting, etc. It cannot answer everything, but it can propose something that is quite good.
So in all of the prompt interfaces that you have in Copilot, you have this little suggestion box.
Exactly.
So you don't have to come up with all the prompts yourself.
Yes.
You also actually get some help from Copilot itself.
Exactly. We can say prompting is like a new language we should learn, but it helps us move along. So that is kind of the first demo that we would like to showcase you. And this is actually based on what we have experienced works and what creates value from our own daily work routines. Everyone has meetings. Then I also know that you have
and then it's my turn to try and
drum roll here.
To try and demo something. So and I'm going to look at Copilot in Excel. So I've pulled up some financial sample data. And I'm going to find my Copilot within Excel and see what I can do with it. So let's just it just starts by this introduction. But let's see here, because I have, of course, just prepared some small prompts. Let's see what it does. Now I'm trying to ask it to clear the format from all the columns. Works. Hope it did. And if you noticed, it actually cleared the currency formatting from every single column. And that was an easy way for me to just interact with my Excel sheet here. So let's see if we can put the currency back again. We're gonna format it with the currency here, and let's see what it does. Luckily, it did what I expected. And if you notice, it only actually formats the places where we have numbers. So it doesn't format all the other columns that are not relevant. So the intelligence is pulled into Excel, and it differentiates the different columns between each other. So that's really great. Another thing that I could just pull up rather quickly is let's just have it highlight something for me. So let's say that I would do this every month in the same way on an Excel sheet. Then I would have like a library of prompts that I would go through every time, and just do these things rather quickly on my data. So now I asked it to highlight and bold and format the top 10 figures of May, and it just pulled these up and made them red and bold.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's really simple to actually start playing around with your data in Excel also, and you can do lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So the same that you showed, the prompt examples, you also get in your Excel, so you get a head start.
Yeah. I think it's very important that you understand and respect these prompting, but I would also say we get quite good help and things. I have a last demo where, again, it's something, not the art of the possible, but actually something from my daily work life that creates value. So now here I move into my Outlook client. I'm using this new Outlook, and I have a dialogue with Alex Wilber, and it's a long dialogue. We do not have a Teams chat enabled. Maybe we should have, because it's a lot of messages, and for me it's actually very difficult to figure out what has been decided, etc. But again, Copilot comes to the rescue. Maybe think you have been on holiday, or you have a lot of emails and a lot of email threads. So here again, I simply ask for a summary by Copilot, and it actually suggests for me. And then in a matter of seconds, it gives me this summary, kind of like the meeting recap, but this time within this thread. It's very, very excellent. I really like this feature. I've read the summary. It's good. I can even rate it and give feedback to the Copilot system and Microsoft. But what I would like to do is actually write a reply to Alex here. And here down below, I can again ask Copilot not to reply, but give me a suggestion to a reply. And again, it kind of knows what the dialogue is about. There is something about websites. It actually suggests these actions, but I would like to add my own, again, prompt here. Now I write, please write a positive reply and ask for a meeting end of next week, because that's kind of the outcome of what I would like to reply to Alex. But now Copilot generates a response. Hi, Alex, thanks for your email. It looks a bit like more an email and not a short message that I wrote here. Say, okay, this looks good. I will keep it. I have not sent anything yet, but here I get a suggestion, and I can, of course, edit it before I send it. So in a matter of minutes, not seconds, but I have had the help of Copilot, my personal assistant, to summary this thread, and I've even added a reply. So now I'll send this to Alex, and yeah, I'm just happy going on with the remaining parts of my tasks. So again, this is something email replies and combing through threads, figuring out what is the most important thing. That's something my new personal assistant here can help with, and that's kind of very, very value creating. I really like these. We could go on and go through
so many examples
PowerPoint, Word, etc. But I guess you get the picture. It knows our data, it knows our context, and it gives us this prompt interface within the tools we use every day. This is not something new, but it's a new way to learn how to do something I have done many, many times. Yes.
Yeah. And have you thought about how it's going to, like, what are the best examples in your work that you use on a daily basis? Because now we've had Copilot for some time here in Fellomind.
Yeah, I think especially the meeting recaps, it's something we know we should do it, but we are busy and we maybe don't have a few minutes in the beginning to kind of figure out who should do it, and then someone says, I'll do it, because then we can move on, but they actually don't have time to do it. So that's kind of something, it's best practice to do. And now Copilot can do 95% of the work. It's all the busy work or routine work that I think Copilot can help us just move on more easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that brings us to like the bullet on our agenda, talking about what kind of value this can create.
Yeah. Because there is a price with this, but let's start with the value it can create. The first message here, I think, is kind of important. It's an assistant at work. So I would not say everything you would consider ask an assistant to do, but kind of look at the Microsoft 365 Copilot as an assistant. You can give it tasks, but not like very creative or tasks that are difficult to solve in the right way, but kind of routine work. Please give a meeting recap. Please write a positive message. Please create a PowerPoint presentation on this topic or based on this document. Please do this with this data in the Excel sheet. Like things you could ask others to do, and where you kind of know what the end result should be. That's where it can help from day one, I would say.
Yeah.
But we could also talk about values in different ways. We have some data here. This is based on research on some of the Copilots that have already been out there for a few years, and now you will remember that it's important to say Copilots Copilots are different things.
Yeah.
But those who have worked in an environment with one type of Copilot, they say that 88% are more productive, 74% can focus more on doing satisfying work, and 77% can spend less time searching for information or examples. This is very, very basic, good measures. We also have some different kind of values. These are not based on direct feedback from working with Microsoft 365 Copilot because it's very new. But this is from a survey called the Work Trend Index, where more than 30,000 people have been asked what they expect from AI and assistants that are powered by AI. And the majority, 31%, think it can increase employee productivity. And I think we have already shown that. And then again, there is this, a lot of people believe that AI tools with AI features embedded can help employees do repetitive mundane tasks more easily or more with a better quality. We could go through a lot of these different values, but I guess you get the picture from this. And as we mentioned earlier, we will also email these slides from the event here. Do you have anything to add here, Pernille?
Yeah, I was just thinking, because all of like repetitive tasks and all like mundane tasks, like creating a summary or summing up something into bullets or finding out what can be an interesting topic to share within this area. All of these like quick tasks, they should be, can often actually end up taking some time. But now they're back to being quick tasks that shouldn't take up too much of your time. And I think that's really nice and helpful, at least for me, to use this this Copilot product daily.
I think tasks where I know the end result, then I can skip steps or have assistance in certain steps. So, I know this Word document should have 4 pages. I kind of know the structure. I know when it's okay when I see it, and then I can just prompt it until I get the end result. And it is actually faster for me getting to that end result.
Yeah, and sometimes you look at other people's material and you just need to get an overview of what is this all about, and maybe you don't have the time to like read through 50 PDF pages or a Word document, and then you can also use just a simple prompt to recap. Yeah,
exactly. So, but this is not completely free. Most of you who have joined this session kind of know it, but let's go through the cost and license requirement. And we also have a question from the audience
great.
who kind of goes into that, but let's start with the cost and license requirement.
Let's look at that.
And this, it is important to emphasize, this is as of now, 1st of November 2023. It might change. Some parts are likely to change. I don't think the price per user per month will change, but let's get back to that. So for now, it's for enterprise customers. So those with an enterprise agreement, typically more than 500 employees or 500 Microsoft 365 licenses. And then you also need to buy or be willing to buy 300 licenses to Microsoft 365 upfront. And the third step in this, those that you give this extra license need an E3 or an E5 license today. They typically have that when they have an enterprise agreement. But this also means it's a quite big step to kind of implement this add-on tool in your Microsoft 365 environment. The price per user a month, $30. And that's just what it takes.
And there are some small other things that you need to, like requirements that you need to have in place in order to get the full or the best experience also. So of course you need to have utilized multiple workloads also from the Microsoft 365 universe, such as SharePoint and OneDrive and all of these things. The more, the merrier, actually.
Yeah, you can say your company knowledge should be in the cloud, and then you can have this assistant that can help you work faster, smarter, more productive in the cloud. Then we have Morten, who asks if we know when Microsoft will open up for smaller organizations that do not have this enterprise agreement. We don't know. We know that it will happen. Are you biting your tongue?
Kind of. We know it will happen. So that's probably the main story here. It will happen, and the reason we know this is also because Microsoft are pushing some products towards CSP customers or small medium businesses that. To get ready, so you can start getting ready, or you can say, okay, when it comes, we would like to get ready, and there are things in the market to start getting ready.
Yeah, we also have some slides with things that we propose, and maybe that is also part of the get ready elements. But let's go to what we suggest as next steps, and then Morten, I hope you kind of sense that we don't know and what we expect.
Yeah.
So there is this the different steps towards Microsoft 365 Copilot. Would you emphasize an element or two?
So what we created just for the easiness of it is kind of a stairway that you can take towards enabling the whole Microsoft 365 in your organization. So what we recommend is that you do some preparation work first. And if you, for example, currently do not, or if you're not eligible for 300 seats and all of this, then you can start by using the Bing Chat for Enterprise. It's really good at getting people started with the whole prompting. And also that can look into your PDFs and everything that you actually run from a browser. So that's really smart. So start looking at these things that are already there and that you can get your hands on already, and then move into more security and data protection dialogue. Also indexing, look a little bit into how's that looking currently on your tenant, and then of course prepare a pilot. It's a good thing to maybe be a little bit boring in terms of rolling this out, but just to make sure that the Microsoft 365 Copilot is working as intended. So do you have your data secured in a good manner? Then you're ready to start piloting and also start testing this and finding the good use cases, because everybody in the organization is going to want to know what are the good use cases for them once they move into Copilot. I think
this ladder is actually good, and very good advice to start with what you can do now. And you can also say, if people in your organization are kind of against prompting and Bing Chat Enterprise, then you might not be ready, and you can work on that work of work stream, so to say. We also have a process. Let's not go into details, but this is kind of a proposal of where you could create a project with our help in a few weeks from initial dialogue until rollout. So I would just say, reach out to us if you would like to go through what we recommend, and we could also help you create a timeline.
And currently we're already booking these for the next half years, for first half of 24, because people want to get ready when it's available for smaller and medium-sized businesses.
All right. So that was kind of what we had prepared on the Microsoft 365 Copilot. But AI is a lot more than just the Microsoft 365 Copilot and also the other Copilots. So I would just once again recommend that you look at these episodes coming in the next week. Find them on Fellowmind websites. Choose English for these series. There is a language selector on the page. And then I would say contact Pernille and I if you have anything you are interested in related to Microsoft 365 Copilot, whether or not you are in Denmark or not. Please reach out. Our contact details are here. And you're also very welcome to reach out to us if you have questions on other parts of artificial intelligence,
Azure, OpenAI services, all of this. We are open to all of these dialogues. And
you can say the Microsoft 365 Copilot is a big topic now. It's very hot and it was just released, but it's just a fraction of all the AI possibilities that you can implement within your organization on your existing data. So,
True.
Don't hesitate to reach out to us.
No, for sure.
I think for us now, Pernille.
That was half an hour.
That was half an hour. It's always a speedy pace down here in the studio. Thank you all, fellows, and
thank you.
Those we work with who took your time to watch this, and hope to talk to you in the future.
For sure. Thank you very much.